Moto 1 for Pro Runabout at the 28th Annual Quickie Sense IJSBA World Finals saw the two-time defending Pro Runabout World Champion Craig Warner come from behind to take home the Moto win and put himself halfway home towards fulfilling his goal of becoming the first rider ever to win 3 consecutive world titles.
There's nothing better than being on top, so I'll take all oncomers to come race against me. I love it. I love the competition, so bring it.
And after finishing second in Pro Ski the past 4 years, the former two-time Pro Ski world champion Stephen Doliak of France was able to hold off the young hotshot, 16-year-old Kevin Rederer of Austria to record the Moto 1 win.
Mr. Doliak is now your leader.
I had a good qualify. I won it. I passed Kevin. So this was a good accomplishment. And we have 2 races tomorrow to be focused on, and we'll do my best for it.
So we're nearing race time as the riders are getting ready for their second and final motos. It's the 28th Annual Quickie Sense IJSBA World Finals right here from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's a cloudy but warm day as we're at the Crazy Horse Campground along Lake Havasu for the 28th Annual Quickie Sense IJSBA World Finals. Hello everyone and welcome to Lake Havasu City, Arizona alongside Dave Arnold, Ami, and Howard. Thanks for joining us for the special presentation, the IJSBA World Finals. And Dave, a lot of racing on tap, starting first with Pro Runabout as Craig Warner tries to make history.
Moto 1s were spectacular, but it's all going to come down to the Moto 2s on the Pro Runabout side. Craig Warner came off a win there, but you know, Sam Harvey was close, clipping at his heels after he made a pass by Anthony Antes. Those are dangerous to Warner right now. It's all about getting that hole shot for Warner, staying out front and taking a win so we can get that third elusive title. And we flip it over to the Pro Ski side. Stephen Doliak, Moto 1 win, but the young gun out of Austria, Kevin Rederer, he came in second behind him, clipping at his heels. Can Kevin Rederer pull it out and get a third title this year? Or will Stephen Doliak get that elusive third world title for him, even though they haven't been consecutive? But I know he's tired of getting second in the world. He's done it 4 times. Will he change that?
And before we get underway with all the race action, let's meet the third member of our broadcast team. That's Don Dawson, who's down in Vendor Alley. Don?
There's a couple things you can always count on when you come to the 2009 Quickie Sense World Finals. One of the things that you can count on is innovation, and innovation not just back in Performance Alley, but also out on the race course, and we have seen a ton of innovation for this year's World Finals. But for right now, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of innovation right here in Performance Alley, and then we're going to show you a whole bunch more of innovation out on the track.
Thanks, Don, and let's take a look now at the Quickie Sense World Finals race course.
When it comes down to courses, this is a traditional World Finals course, a split start. As they leave the starting gate, they head out towards those first turn buoys. You have the outside lane and the inside lane. The inside lane will come around sweeping on that left-hand turn where they come into the split slalom section. On the inside, it's a little bit shorter distance, but on the outside, a little bit longer, and the turn's not as tight. They'll make a right-handed turn, they merge together. Then it goes to the 180 onto the straightaway. As they come up, they make a left-hand turn into the horseshoe. This is where we change things up. The stand-ups, they make a quick left-hand turn. They head over the 2 log jumps consecutively in a row, and this is where the runabouts go around the outside. They make a quick right-handed turn, and then they serpentine their way through a left, a right, a left, and a right, and it brings them back into the big left-hand sweeper, which is onto the back straightaway where we see the top speeds. This is where they come off the back straightaway into the split course design, and they bring them back together into the merge, onto the 180, and a checkered flag.
Time now for Moto number 2 for Pro Runabout. Craig Warner trying to become the first Pro Runabout rider in the history of the sport to capture 3 consecutive world championships as we're off racing. So Dave, history could be in the making as we go on board with Arminio Iantasca, second at the World Finals 2 years ago. And Dave, he's trying to improve his lot here at the 2009 version. And can you imagine what it's like trying to head through the splits here with all this traffic and hardly any visibility?
Well, when you got 700-800 pounds machines next to you, and we're talking speeds excess of 80 miles an hour by that first turn, and there's not much room for that first turn to get into those splits. So, you know, some guys are going to have to back off, and look at that.
So Warner battling Harvey through the splits, and Harvey able to out-accelerate Warner coming through that final 180 turn to the front stretch. So Harvey, the man from New Zealand up front, that Les Cook prepared Sea-Doo, trying to put that in the winner's circle, and that's on the heels of a second place showing back in Moto 1. As we're just getting underway with Moto number 2 for Pro Runabout, as you're watching the 28th Annual Quickie Sense IJSBA World Finals from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Coverage of the 28th Annual IJSBA World Finals from Lake Havasu City, Arizona has been made possible by Quickie Sense, by Monster Energy Drinks, by Kawasaki, by Yamaha, by Sea-Doo, by Blosian, by Riva Racing, and by VP Racing Fuels. Welcome back to the 28th Annual Quickie Sense IJSBA World Finals from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Sam Harvey continues to lead it as he looks for his first ever Pro Runabout World Championship. And while we have a moment, let's check in with Don Dawson to get this update from Vendor Alley.
Okay, well, the shopping odyssey continues right here at the 2009 Quickie Sense World Finals. I, of course, had to make a stop at Quickie Sense so I could buy some really cool gear. But I have to tell you, the first thing I did was get some really cool sandals, and that might slow me down because I'm having a hard time balancing in these hot things. But they've got all kinds of really neat stuff yet again this year. We've got crazy jackets, tons and tons and tons of suits. And then, of course, my favorite thing, these tour jackets, some of the newest styles that they've got out here for Quickie Sense. You're going to totally love it. I still don't understand why you're not here out playing with me.
So Sam Harvey, who finished up third place last year in the World Finals, trying to become the first racer from New Zealand to win a world title in Pro Runabout, and now he has his hands full with Craig Warner, an identical pass along the front straightaway coming out of the 180, and Craig Warner this time will return the favor and get past Sam Harvey for the lead. So Warner, he's proven he's able to come from behind, and he does it once again. This time Sam Harvey, the recipient of some bad luck.
Let's take another look here. You can see Warner diving to the inside, and he was just on a rail going through there. And then he just slams it and goes out.
And Dave, if you're Sam Harvey, you have to be kicking yourself right now and asking yourself, why did I open the door and let Craig Warner not only get past me in Moto 1, but here in the all-important Moto number 2?
Well, sometimes the line, you can see when he came off that split, he came in a little steep into that turn, a little deep, I should say, which caused him to go a little wider, and Warner was able to have a sweeping and dive in tight, and it paid off for him. And you know what? You don't give a pro an inch because he'll take a mile.
And talk about a guy who's had a lot of success in his racing career. King D right there, the number 1, Dustin Farthing, a 16-time overall world champion, but we saw back in Moto 1, he lost that supercharger belt, and that's been the big issue for him during this 2009 race campaign. A lot of attrition within this class, and Craig Warner trying to go wire to wire for his second consecutive Moto win and trying to make history with his third consecutive world title. And we asked him earlier what it would mean to make history.
Oh, it means the world. That's our lives right now, so we're going to do whatever it takes. I feel great about it. We're ready. Let's go get it.
Warner's setup is always top-notch. You know, he's going with the older style 15F top deck, of course, aftermarket work underneath. Very top secret when it comes to a lot of these race teams.
And Dustin Farthing, 16-time overall world champion, now suffering on the race course, Dave. And you can see him motioning to the other riders as Chris McCluggage gets past him, so you can only feel the frustration that a guy like Dustin Farthing has.
Yeah, that is, you know, got to be the most frustrating thing, especially it happening in Moto 1. It's happening now in Moto number 2, and you got to let some of the top competitors get by, especially when you're running so well out there.
And for Arminio Iantosca, also aboard a 15F Kawasaki, his best finish back in 2007 when he recorded a second overall here at the World Finals. This is his 11th year competing, but you can see the difference to the front in our leader, Craig Warner, who now looks to be experiencing problems right in front of the flag tower. So Warner's reign as the king of Pro Runabout, a 2-time current world champion, will come to an end as Sam Harvey from New Zealand will get past him. So we saw Farthing break down, and now our 2-time defending world champion, Craig Warner, looks to be knocked out here in 2009.
You know, my heart just goes out to Craig Warner and his entire team. I got to tell you, Sam Harvey, been a bridesmaid. He's been so close. He's broken down so many times. Now I just got to hope his equipment stays together because he's running a good position, and I'll tell you, his machines are fast, and you know, they've been running good all week long. Those Les Cook motors have been really staying together really well.
So Sam Harvey now in position to capture his first ever Pro Runabout world title as the 2-year reign of Craig Warner looks to have come to a close. Can the man from New Zealand hang on? Will his equipment last? Stay with us to find out as you're watching the 28th Annual Quickie Sense IJSBA World Finals from Lake Havasu City, Arizona.